Hello guys, welcome back to Triple Double Nation. Giannis Antetokounmpo, soon to be two-time NBA MVP and leader of #1 overall seed 2 postseasons in a row, has been eliminated from the playoffs alongside his Milwaukee Bucks earlier than expected for the second consecutive season. A year ago it was Kawhi Leonard, and the Toronto Raptors to knock him off. This time, the surprising Miami Heat, only a #5 seed, took down the literal and figurative giant thanks to their overwhelming shooting and the clutch heroics of Jimmy Butler. To add insult to injury, the only Bucks win came in a game Antetokounmpo exited with an ankle sprain. The honeymoon period in Milwaukee is officially over. And once the offseason arrives, the clock officially starts ticking. Antetokounmpo now only has a single season remaining on his contract. When free agency begins, the Bucks will offer him a 5-year Supermax contract extension, and in all likelihood, he will decline. Bearing a major surprise, one of the best players in the NBA is going to enter unrestricted free agency in the summer of 2021 at the age of 26. And so, with Giannis now officially playing on an expiring contract, here is where the suitors for one of the greatest free agents in NBA history stand. Number 10, Los Angeles Clippers. No, the current iteration of the Clippers is not going to land Giannis. The Thunder own all their trade assets, and once they re-sign Montrezl Harrell and Marcus Morrison this offseason, they're going to vault into the luxury tax for as long as Kawhi Leonard and Paul George remain. Those two are the lone reason the Clippers get a listing here. They are both 2021 free agents, and if, for whatever unforeseeable reason, they decide to leave, the Clippers are suddenly in a fairly similar situation to where they were in 2019. They lack star power that may be one of the smartest organizations in basketball while occupying the NBA's best market. Assuming they could clear the cap space superstars would want to play for them, Giannis alone couldn't replace Leonard and George. If they could bring a buddy, now we're talking. Number 9, New York Knicks. The New York market in itself is not going to impress Giannis. What the New York market can do for him as a recruiter, that could be another story. If there is another 2021 free agent he is dead set on playing with, New York as a city is more likely to be attracted to that co-star than, say, Milwaukee. The Knicks have the money to make that work. They owe Julius Randle $4 million in guarantees, still have over $6 million charged to Joakim Noah's stretch deal. But otherwise, they have nothing but rookie deals in the books. The Knicks are mostly a blank slate. That's their sole appeal, because very little of the current roster fits with Giannis. RJ Barrett, while theoretically a high-level individual scorer, had an uneven rookie season that included little development as a three-point shooter. Mitchell Robinson is never going to shoot outside the paint. He just broke Wilt Chamberlain's field goal percentage record by exclusively dunking. The Knicks could draft shooters between now and 2021 free agency, but such young players are unlikely to appeal much to veteran stars. Number 7 and 8, Atlanta Hawks and Phoenix Suns. Nobody expected Durant and Kyrie Irving to sign with Brooklyn. After 5 years in the gutter, the 2018 Nets were hardly appealing to free agents. But years of building yielded a strong single playoff appearance in a desirable market, and that was enough to sway two superstars. That essentially is the argument for the Hawks and Suns. They've both been bad for years, but with one playoff appearance, they become significantly more appealing. Devin Booker is a perfect co-star for Giannis as could exist. Trae Young isn't far behind, though his defense will always be problematic on the playoff stage. Both have a deep stable of young, cheap wings to supplement them, both play in desirable markets. Players tend to love Atlanta, and Phoenix has gotten in the mix for prime free agents in the past. Number 6, Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers have been stealthily recruiting Giannis for over a year. Even as they build a championship contender around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they refuse to sign a single free agent to a contract that lasts beyond next season. They signed his brother Kostas to a 2-way deal. Their top assistant is Jason Kidd, Antetokounmpo's former coach in Milwaukee. The two were extremely close. Giannis offered to try to save his job after he got fired. Here's the trouble. The Lakers have almost no way of affording him. Let's say their cap sheet includes nobody except James, Davis, and the dead money left over from Luol Deng's deal. Assuming LeBron and Davis are at their maxes, that's still over $81 million on the books. They could pursue a sign and trade, but with what assets? Kyle Kuzma isn't going to be the centerpiece of a Giannis trade. New Orleans has all their draft picks. The Bucks wouldn't cooperate. Without space, the Lakers have no leverage to force them to. Number 5, Golden State Warriors. Giannis would probably be very interested in playing for the Warriors if his ideal team is one that spaces the floor for him as much as possible. The Steph and Curry-Klay Thompson duo would be his perfect teammates. And as much as he remains relationships with opposing stars, he and Curry have a friendship. They both picked the #1 overall in all-star drafts during their respective captaincies. They've spoken respectfully of each other in the past. But Golden State's path to actually acquiring Giannis would be overwhelmingly difficult. It literally cannot create max cap space around the Curry-Thompson pairing. Number 4, Miami Heat. When kids want to scare each other, they tell ghost stories. When small market GMs want to scare each other, they tell Pat Riley stories. We've all heard the spookiest. Riley walks into a room with an MVP, pulls out a small velvet bag, and drops its diamond-studded contents onto a table. Superstars desperate for a single championship ring suddenly have 9 staring at them in the face. He has so many of them that he literally gave one to Chris Bosh as a keepsake in 2010. He's been doing this dance for decades. There is not a more terrifying recruiter on earth than Riley. Number 3, Toronto Raptors. Masai Ujiri lost his first superstar when he wanted to go home. There would be a special sort of poetry to him landing Giannis, then because the Toronto executive helped the Antetokounmpo settle in their home years ago. According to Doug Smith in the Toronto Star, Ujiri, who is heavily involved in basketball without borders and is of Nigerian descent, helped the Antetokounmpo family immigrate to Greece from Nigeria. He reportedly tried to trade up in the 2013 NBA draft to pick up Giannis. He failed then. He'll get a shot again in 2021. The Raptors will have the raw talent to earn an audience with Giannis. Pascal Siakam is an All-NBA player. Fred VanVleet is growing into one of the better all-around point guards in the NBA. Toronto's player development program is unmatched. VanVleet and Terrence Davis were undrafted. Siakam and OG Anunoby came in late in the first round. Kyle Lowry was barely a full-time starter when the Raptors got their hands on him. Now he's headed for the Hall of Fame. But Lowry is 34, Marcus Lowell is 35, Sergei Ibaka is 30. None of them is signed beyond next season. Neither is VanVleet, though a hefty contract extension is incoming. That should limit Toronto's ability to get max cap space. The Raptors currently only have around $46.5 million committed for the 2021 and 2022 season. Number 2, Dallas Mavericks. The sole goal for Giannis is to sign with a team that gives him the best chance to win the championships. He will sign with the Dallas Mavericks. Frankly, it isn't close. They have by far the best basketball situation to offer. If any player has a chance to unseat Giannis as the best player of the 2020s, it is Luka Doncic. The two couldn't fit together better as teammates. Doncic's playoff chops were confirmed when he took the Clippers to 6 games and beat them on one of the best buzzer beaters in recent memory. Kawhi Leonard utterly confounded Giannis in the 2019 playoffs. Luka averaged 31 points and 8.7 assists against them. The two would fit together wonderfully as teammates. Dallas just posted the most efficient regular season offense in NBA history, thanks to Luka's preternatural ball handling instincts. He is likely the best pick and roll ball handler in the NBA already and will only get better. Where Dallas' struggle was defense, ranking 18th on the season, the defensive player of the year would help them on that front. The lone concern would be shooting. Number 1, Milwaukee Bucks. Although the Bucks season was cut short, Giannis certainly didn't sound like a player destined for departure. At the end of the day, we've got to learn from everything that goes on in your life and in your career, and hopefully we can learn from this and get better as a team and come back, and hopefully we can build a culture in Milwaukee for many years that we can come out here and compete every single year for a championship, he told reporters after the Bucks Game 5 loss. He then proceeded to shoot down the idea that he would ask for a trade. Giannis, for the moment, seems hellbent on winning in Milwaukee. The best thing the Bucks have going for them is that Giannis has never displayed much interest in the trappings of stardom. He doesn't really buddy up to other superstars, and as a Greek citizen, he's never been infected by the AAU circuit or the rampant tampering of USA basketball. He doesn't cameo in movies or emphasize his brand. His celebrity is minuscule compared to his production, and that appears to be a choice. Giannis is driven almost entirely by basketball. He's only ever played it for one NBA team. Incumbency is a powerful force, even in this NBA. Milwaukee is the only team with a direct line to Giannis, and this conversation ends with a 2021 championship. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future.